it seems like the way you're responding to seeing yourself on
what do you mean?
Well, it's just you're looking at it as like the same way somebody would be like, this is the first time I've ever seen myself in a mirror. And you're just sort of examining, like, how do I look from this angle? How do I look from that angle?
Well, when my father, who had passed away in 2015, and I say thank you, Lord, because he hated Donald Trump even more than me. He hated Donald Trump.
You told us that story about how he screwed your father out of payments, right, or something like that, as a contractor.
And my father used to sell gas burner supplies, and I don't know where my father is in his grave right now, but if he saw the guy. If he knew the guy from Honeywell was at a national news conference, he would roll back over in his grave. If you weren't into gas burner supplies, you're on the floor now because I did a Honeywell reference. I could have done a White Rogers. Anybody?
Well, all right. Fortunately, we can't hear the howls of laughter that are happening out in the
Again, this is so great for me. I don't have to wait for the studio laughs.
You don't have to ever imagine. I do have something here, though. I mean, if you want something like this, I could do that.
You know what? Some people might say that that's a phony way to get yourself excited. What's wrong with it? You know what I'm saying? That sounds better than actual laughter to me.
It's more genuine in many respects.
Well, because I have a friend who has, and this is true. He has myasthenia gravis, and he's doing okay. But it's one of these.
I don't know what that is.
It's a disease, and they have treatment for it. But what happens is that your muscles get very stiff. You can't move. And one of the symptoms is a blank, expressionless face. What are the odds that half the people who have been coming to my shows for all these years suffer from myasthenia gravis? For all I know, I was killing, Sam. I was killing, but they were unable to show it.
That's very possible. Does that when you tell that joke in a room full of people, is there anybody who gets it? The myasthenia?
I think people think that first of all, I opened it up with that it's a disease named by Jerry Lewis, myasthenia gravis, and no one likes that. So people get upset. They think that I'm going to say something terrible about disease, but my friend has it. And he's alive. If he wasn't alive, it would be a cruel bit. But it used to be an even more horrible disease. And let's cut to a clip.
Oh my God.
And also, the other symptoms include checking your watch a lot. Googling nearest comedy club is also a
walking out of a room at different
involuntary turning of your neck to see what the people behind you are laughing at.
That's also marked by a great increase in requesting your money back from management, is my understanding.
It doesn't make sense on a certain level. How could that affect your actual physical motor skills?
It's very strange. And there's a lot of check, please.
Oh, and they often check. They do a neurological test. What would make someone go, or do this? What would make someone do this during someone's act?
Did you find that a lot of those people also had the ability to do this?
Yes.
Well, thumbs down.
Absolutely. And Sam, before we go further, can I do my yearly Passover joke?
Yes, please do.
Okay, here we go. Hey, folks, Passover is getting more commercial every year. Don't you hate this? They start earlier in the year in the stores with the Passover stuff. It's not even Tu B'Shvat yet. And all of a sudden they got it seems like you just put away your Shavuos decorations. And all of a sudden it's not even a week after Simiat Saris and they're starting you up with the Pesach hype. That's it.
That's good stuff. I mean,
you look handsome. You look more handsome than ever because you have a certain distinguished look now. You're always hot, sexy Jew, but now you have also contemplative.
Well, I would have shaved, but I was concerned that we would look identical. That was what
I wish I looked like you. I wake up every morning wanting to look like you.
Can I ask you, Andy, a personal question? I am looking at that chair, and it looks like what kind of chair is that? It looks honestly like you really is that like a desk chair? Like what? It's like it looks like an orthopedic chair.
Well, it's a chair that's been in my wife's family for many years. So keep going, Sam.
It's been in your wife's family.
My father passed away in this chair. Okay, that's wrong. I apologize for that. That is not appropriate.
That was not.
That is not appropriate. It's not
appropriate. But it does look like an orthopedic chair.
Do you know that yesterday? Do you know the store Sit and Sleep?
I don't.
Very popular store out here. Yesterday, I went there for an hour. I sat down there and I said, I really like this chair. He goes, you do? I kept going. I said, yeah, it feels good. Finally, an hour in, he goes, are you comfortable? So I could say I make a nice living. But it took like an hour and a half.
But the problem with that joke now is that the first thing that I'm thinking when you say I went to Sit and Sleep yesterday was, wait, that's not an essential service. What's he doing there? That's not appropriate.
That's right. Well, that's just the problem with that joke. Don't get us started on the whole oeuvre.
Do you, I mean, have you seen any stand-ups doing like exclusive stay-at-home jokes?
I don't know if it's become I haven't had anybody from the New York Post ask me what my top 5 quarantine jokes are. They haven't.
Did anybody ask you the top 3?
No, but I didn't even think about it. If you had told me you wanted quarantine jokes, I mean, all of my jokes rely on that there's no difference now, that my career goes the same way, that I never was performing in front of people. No, I didn't have a career before it. I won't have but that's old. So you're saying I should mix it up a little bit, like add some swab material?
That could be good. Do you have any antibodies?
What's the deal with these swabs? I mean, I didn't have that much down my throat on my wedding night. Is this alienating your audience?
How about this? I keep hearing about antibodies. Look at me.
Antibody. You know, I toured briefly as the Antichrist.
People can shoot me up if they need to.
You do me better than me.
I know. Well, I've been studying at the master. What?
When's the movie coming out for us?
What movie?
Bob's Burgers movie.
Wait a second. Have you heard anything about that? You know, because they're going to animation. I think is like we are weeks away from like a burgeoning animation explosion. I would bet because this is something that can actually be done remotely.
Well, I have a talk show from my house that I'm doing every night. Tonight
is that right?
Tonight's Bob Dylan is on the show. Janis Joplin will be here, and comedian Fred Travellino.
What are you doing? Just booking guests from like 30 years ago? Or what are you doing?
Well, some of them are still alive. I'm booking them. And
are you doing anything? Now, of course, you're doing Thought Spiral, right? You still doing that?
Yes, and that we're doing social distancing with that. We do it just on the fly. I don't even go to his house. His house is 3 blocks away, but I'm so frightened about death. How long have you been in your apartment? I've been in my apartment. I actually went to New York right before this stuff happened. I went to New York and I came back the day that New York was basically locked down. So I've been back since March 10th.
Okay.
And so I have not left my apartment since then, except to go to the pharmacy and to buy weed.
But they don't deliver?
No, they do deliver.
Okay.
That was an incorrect premise.
So, all right, Andy, let's get to brass tacks here. I would ask you what you're up to, but I imagine it's just like all Twitter. Is there a new Twitter? Do you have a new Twitter, Bête Noire, or what?
No, I'm trying to. I've been recently trying to. Well, you know what I've been doing recently? Like Geraldo Rivera will say something, and then I'll just slam him, and then he blocks me. It's not that fun.
How many times can you get away with that, though? I mean, how many times can you block you? Does he keep
No, I just thought he wouldn't care, but I just wanted to. But I guess he did care. And
so, what are you doing? You're just attacking, your like fans. Are you just like choosing a specific fan for the day, and like I'm going at you until you block me?
Yeah, that's I'm the king of mute now. Nobody even knows what's going on. I don't see anything in my timeline because of the muting.
You've muted everyone.
Yes, I have still Carvel. Carvel is in my timeline. I haven't muted them yet.
Carvel ice cream?
Yeah, you don't follow Carvel ice cream?
I don't.
Oh, God, my acting is bad. No, I do follow them, though. I'm a Carvel fan. I'm from Queens, Sam. I know you're from up in Connecticut.
I know. No, you Worcester. Cookie Puss. I know Cookie Puss. I don't need to be told about Cookie Puss by you, buddy.
That's the funniest thing. Hey, do you have your coffee regular in Boston? If you have it regular in Boston, it means it's sugar and then cream. Well, you're idiots, Boston. You're a bunch of idiots then.
There you go. That's what I was looking
for. And they
for.
Can't hurt me now. They can't hurt me, Sam.
What are they going to do? Not come out to the show?
Yeah. Hey, Boston. Hey, Knicks. I'm gonna do a remote.
Is Knicks Comedy Stop still there?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I would do a show. That's how I would do a show at a horrible club now. No, it wasn't a horrible club, but people. It
wasn't great. It was not great. All right. So what should we do here? We've got Dennis Miller went on I can't even remember what's his first name.
O'Reilly?
No, Rubin. What is Rubin's first name?
Dave
Rubin. I've already forgotten. Ever since he went on to Blaze TV, more or less.
Man. You can't get in touch with him anymore.
I can't get in touch with him. He's so busy. No, I just the guy's just like a run-of-the-mill dim right winger. So it's not as interesting to me. But when you bring two dim run-of-the-mill right wingers together, who both are super funny, then I'm in. And therefore, let's go. What do you say? We got a couple of clips here from Miller on Rubin's show.
Sam Seder's choice, I say.
All right, let's start with the first one. This is starting at 56. This is them ruminating on why are kids so obsessed with politics these days. And Miller actually does.
I'd say, brother and sister, unless there's a super serious thing.
He doesn't have a bad answer here. It's not complete, but here it is. And remember, Andy, you and I have been doing this for an extensive period of time.
What do you mean, hating Dennis Miller?
Yes, and we've been following this. And Dennis Miller has left and returned to politics a half a dozen times in the time that we've been criticizing him.
Did you mention to people that he is what kind of comedian he is?
What's that?
For those who haven't heard him before in the show,
he's
one of America's premier reference comedians, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the reference comedian. And here it is. Here he is with Dave Rubin on the Dave Rubin Report show. And this is, I guess, from a couple of weeks ago, March 27th. They were a little bit late with their social distancing, but they don't mind.
No, they're not.
Like that kind of thing. You're right.
He's swoonable. It makes me laugh. Bernie Sanders can't believe he's pulled it off.
What do you think the obsession with politics is? Like that kind of thing. You're right. Yeah, you think that's it more than anything else?
When you get to a point, and for kids, I know they're going to talk about health care, but by and large, I don't think kids in their 20s, they're always so invincible, are thinking, God, I'm going to have a goiter when I'm 70. Is it going to be covered? I don't think they work that way. I do think a lot of kids are getting out of college now with north of 100 or high 10s school loan. They can't even get off the pad in their 80s. It's almost like they're working with loan sharks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They got to pay that off before they can get to their dreams. Therefore, they think, fuck my dreams. I'm not going to have a house. I'm going to live in a small micro apartment. I'm not going to get a car. I'm going to bike around or pick up one of these jerk-off scooters on every corner. And I'm going to go out once a week with my friends and film a Michelob commercial where we're all sitting around and we're all putting our beer on top of the turntable. And I'm going to pay for a great glass of wine because I don't have any options on getting a house or a car. And I think all that's happened is if I was a kid and I was sitting there with $100,000 worth of school loans, and it was for an environmental studies degree where, quite frankly, I went out and they said, here's some dishwashing solution. Go clean that dove up on the beach. I'd be saying, who's the guy who wants to forgive my loan? I'd probably be gone there. But I'm not anymore. I'm the old guy who had minimal school loans, paid them off, and they can't expect me to go back and see it that way. I don't want to give up everything for people who, if I was telling a kid right now, I'd say, brother and sister, unless there's a super serious thing you can get a degree in that you can exchange for green rectangles, don't go.
Yeah.
Because all these half the people going in right now are getting degrees that mean nothing. And you could have 4 years on the ground. Find out what you want. Get in there. Get into whatever the equivalent of the mailroom is. Spend those 4 years. Jesus, for God's sakes, 1,500 days while they're sitting in there,